Welcome to the Astro Forecast for the week of November 8th to November 14th. This is a calmer week. You're like, yes, finally. And of course, depending on your personal astrology, it could be a little bit more going on for you. Again, everything for an opportunity. There's no such thing as a bad aspect in astrology. They are all parts of us that are making us stronger, better, helping us with our life lessons in this lifetime. They're all soul qualities. So this week, the astrology is starting off with the moon gaining in light. It's in the first quarter phase, meaning we just had a new moon last week. And now as we start off Monday, the moon is gaining in light and gaining momentum. So we're going to feel like the energy is coming back into our system, back into our days again. Mercury is flying forward, and we're going to start off the week with Monday and Tuesday having really good aspects to the moon. Not a bad aspect there at all. Now, there's some larger aspects, of course, at play in this year, but for the most part, this day feels like it's a really good day, Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday might be a little bit more intense with the emotions because the moon will be sitting with Pluto. This might feel more like we feel our emotions in a big, big way, but it could be also really wonderful. Maybe you're feeling more kind of intensely, it's in Capricorn, so it feels more grounded into reality actually when the moon comes to sit with Pluto, but it can also be a little bit intense. It could be an intense day of connection even. Now, Wednesday, November 10th, we have Mercury coming to sit with Mars in Scorpio. So Mars is our motivation, our desire. When it's in Scorpio, it is passion. It is intense. It is really good sex. And Mercury in Scorpio is intense, driving, probing, understanding things at a deeper level, investigating, research. It likes to get to the bottom of why when it's in Pluto or when it's in Scorpio. So to have Mercury and Mars together, this feels like deep, passionate connections, actually. This feels really lovely. Sharp, it can also be a sharp tongue. So on the positive side, this can be deep connections. We're feeling very motivated. We want to get stuff done. We want to be productive in some way. And it can be focused, acute thinking, a great time to debate or kind of get to the bottom of some things. It might not be a great time, like a debate is good when you set the parameters of it to be intellectual, but when you don't set parameters and you're debating things, especially a really hot topic, it can get out of control. So I always like to say with debates, you're sort of talking from the place of non-emotion with facts and neutrality, and that kind of debate on this day would be really good. I don't know if it's possible though, because Scorpio is a deeply emotional, but it's emotions are kind of hidden. Like you don't really often know what a Scorpio is thinking because it kind of it's deep, right? It's always like still waters run deep. Those are Scorpios. So on a positive side, this can feel very like a great time for a debate, deep thinking, great sex. It can be a lot of great connections with people. On the negative side, you can feel like you have a very sharp tongue, like you're kind of hot, if you will, but not hot in a sexy way, hot in a like irritated way. And now there's some other aspects to the moon on this day. The moon is squaring Mars on this day and squaring to Mercury and squaring to Uranus. So all of these squares make it a little irritable, make it a little bit angry, prone to being kind of flying off the handle. So you could use this energy to really go deep into deep cleaning, right? Cleaning deep, getting rid of all the things, the clutter around your house. But it's an emotional sign. So maybe if you feel really emotionally attached to your house and you want to see that clean, that might feel really good to you. Just be careful you don't become abrupt, have a sharp tongue, or be rude in some way. It can also be very like aggressive or defensive in this manner too, because you feel like you need to protect yourself in some way because it's quite sensitive. And then, to kind of add a little bit more fire to this, Saturn is squaring these two lovely deep planets. These two planets in Scorpio. And so Saturn is in Aquarius. And whenever Saturn squares Mars, this feels triggers, right? We want to move ahead, but we can't because we're feeling restricted. And when Saturn squares the moon, we feel depressed, right? Saturn is a restrictor. It likes to kind of close down. It's about responsibility, duty. What are you doing? It's scarcity, fears. And the moon wants to be like light and loving everyone and connecting to people and feeling deep and feeling its emotions. And Saturn's going, no, we are going to do the right thing. It's in also in Aquarius, which is very much about logic and thinking and intelligence versus feelings, right? That's why a lot of Aquarius are often misunderstood as feeling as in not very emotional, when the fact of the matter is they're very emotional beings. They just don't show it, right? They're very logical thinkers, they're intellectuals. So this day is going to be intense. And this day, it builds this week to this day, and then it wanes afterwards. So astrology is like that. It applies exact and it's separating. So as these planets are kind of coming together, it's becoming more intense. And then as they move apart, it's getting less and less intense. And so, and this is going to be kind of the most intense day of the week will be Wednesday. Thursday here in Canada, it is a Remembrance Day. And I always just kind of like to look at what's happening on that day. There's a square to the sun on that day and a conjunction to Jupiter. So these are big emotions. And it's a sort of feeling like, why did we go to war and do all of this stuff? And all these people died, and it's really, I think, a luxury to have that mentality. If that's something you feel like, war, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Love that song, by the way. But we are now enjoying the freedoms of what that war brought us. So can we just be thankful and send love and healing to all the families and all the people who lost their lives so that we may have the lifestyle that we do. It's a really big day that I really like to honor. And even, having Christmas stuff out on the shelves and stuff, let's just to honor our veterans for what they have done for us and sacrificed. If you think a pandemic was hard, try living through a war, a multi-year war, being away from your family and living in trenches and dysentery and seeing your friends die. So we often take for granted that our life, what we have here, is wonderful. And then, well, we're in a pandemic and I have to stay home. And I was always saying, you know what, thank God this isn't a war. Because when I was looking ahead to the astrology of 2020, it looked like a war. And that's what I couldn't describe how else so many souls would be leaving the earth, right? It had to be a war or else a lot of plane crashes or something. But of course, a pandemic makes sense. Now, in hindsight, we just knew that there would be a mass exodus of souls in 2020 and into 2021 too. We're not done yet. Although I do feel like it's going to wane away by the middle of next year. So let's see how that goes. All right, Friday, November 12th. This is a most harmonious aspect. It's the sun trine to Neptune. Now, Neptune is religion. It is, but it's spirituality, like not doctrine. It's a spirituality, connection to the divine. It is idealism, devoted love. It is purity. It is transcendence. It's so beautiful. It's the sign that rules Pisces, and it's in its ruling sign right now. And the sun is in Scorpio at this time. So these two water signs are trining each other. And trines mean it's harmonious. They're working together like a great team. The energy is flowing so effortlessly. And when we have these two water planets in this relationship to each other, aspect to each other is the word I'm looking for. This is a lot of water. So water is intuitive, it's emotional, it's sensitive. Emotional intelligence comes from water signs. So understanding this will be a day that's very sensitive. So you can feel a little bit weepy, a little bit kind of crying, but it's a really great time to connect to your own spiritual center and understand your intuition. Intuition is going to be on point on this day. So take time to listen within and see the nudges of your soul. So if you wanted to do like a meditation retreat or do some meditation on this day, it'll be a really, really good idea. This Friday is going to be a really beautiful flowing day. Not a great day to set forth a very big schedule with lots of things to do. You're going to feel very ethereal, more so, to kind of flow with things and be creative. This is a great day to be creative if you wanted to draw or take a course in something that's creative, like pottery or coloring, or just being out in nature. Oh, nature would be a really good one for this day. This is a great time to just kind of check in and be connected to your soul and to the divine source of energy that rules this whole world, and it kind of makes everything go. So this is a great day to help others, to gain a deeper understanding of your place in the world and your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Spiritual ideals, greater socialization and spiritual connection, shared vision. So all that really deep, lovely, like I, as a spiritual person, love days like this. I'll probably plan to do something spiritual, like writing or channeling or creating a course or something like that. This would be amazing for that, something spiritual. Saturday, November 13th. This is an intense day. And, we're kind of building to this day. So, because of this Mars next to Mercury and that square to Saturn, and then what's happening this day is Mercury opposite to Uranus. It's still going to be square Saturn because that square to Saturn Uranus is the whole 2020, the whole of 2021 is kind of being governed by this, the old versus the new, right? Technology versus the old way of doing things. This is evolution at its most sort of painful, really, in the way that it's ripping off the old and bringing in the new because we have no choice. So it's very interesting that this is, this lovely intuitive day on Friday is sandwiched between these two harsher aspects of kind of, I know I said the week was really light. It is lighter, it's better than like the moons and planets changing signs, although there's nothing about better or worse. It's just how it feels, right? So I don't think it's going to feel as harsh as planets changing signs or planets changing directions or new moons or full moons, but these are still pretty strong aspects. So Mercury is going to be opposite Uranus, and Mercury is our mind, right? It's the way we think, and Uranus is it's chaos. It's father time. It's father. Sorry, it's father time is Saturn. Chaos. It is the god of chaos. That's what I wanted to say. Evolution. It is. It likes to change whatever it touches. It's effervescence. It's unique. It's technology. It's all these things that are outside the box. Is Uranus, right? Uranus doesn't like to be in a box. That's why it's ruling. It rules Aquarius. We think of it that way, right? Aquarius does not like to be labeled. It likes to have things that are kind of, it's intellectual without boundaries, right? It just likes to have its space. Well, it's not boundaries, it's fixed, but it doesn't like to be put inside of a box. So when we look at Saturday, Mercury opposite Uranus, our mind is going to want to put things into labels, and Uranus is going to be like, nope, that's not what's happening here. So we can feel very anxious with this, right? Uranus rules are kind of our nervous system and Mercury our mind. And when these two planets are working opposite each other, this can feel like anxiety. This can feel like something's not right. Any agendas, throw them out the window. That's not going to happen. This is going to be a time to flow with change and just kind of go, we're going to have a Saturday where we don't really have any plans. And this is going to bleed over, from, I would say, probably Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So patience is a virtue on this day, and the days around it as well. Speeds up the day and your mind, because these two planets are very cerebral, right? They're kind of, they're very fast moving. Actually, Mercury right now is also very fast. Intense and scattered, unexpected happenings, increasing your nervous anxiety. Do not make plans for this day and do not negotiate business or contracts. You will be very disappointed by the outcome of that if this is the day that you do that. So let's say you're trying to buy a house, or I would wait from Wednesday to Wednesday, not do anything during those days. Just let this play out a little bit, okay? Because it feels like, let's say you were trying to buy a house. What could happen is you would find out that there's a leak in the roof afterwards when you do the home inspection, or even the home inspection might miss something, and then you buy the house and you find out you kind of bought a lemon. So that's kind of this kind of energy. Be patient, or and disciplined of self. Like, don't get into arguments with people. This can be very kind of like people are just irritating you as well. Easy to be distracted. If traveling, double check your booking and take paper copies. Because Mercury rules travel and Uranus rules technology. This could be a day of tech glitches. So if you're running a class, which I am on Saturday, expect to have some tech glitches. Be patient. Maybe log on early to make sure that everything is working out fine. Communication breakdown as well. So check for understanding, right? I heard you say this. Is that correct? And don't jump to conclusions, please, for the love of God. There's a lot of misunderstanding that's possible here. And with this sun trine to Neptune and Neptune sitting with the moon on Saturday, we can feel very sensitive. It's almost like our electrodes, our receptivity is going to be really heightened. And so we're going to be aware of our environment and the energy coming in. Well, maybe not aware. If you took Intuition 101, you're aware. So if that is something that you took Intuition 101, use your energetic self-care this week. Grounding your white light bubble, cleansing your cords, make sure you're clearing your cords every night before you go to bed. So this is going to be really important for that. Go with the flow, exciting insights, exciting new people. Make sure to listen. Really listen to what people are saying and notice people's trauma responses. That is their response, not yours. How you react to it is your trauma response. So just noticing that and keep an open mind. What have you rushed through in the past? Because this is going to bring up all the things you rushed through. Oh my God, I feel like I have things coming for me that I've tried to been ignoring that I'm going to have to really look at on this day. So, although this week doesn't have a lot of aspects, there are kind of three that are really kind of big this week. Increasing our sensitivity, this Mercury opposite to Uranus, kind of throwing a glitch into things. But the insights here and the creativity and the downloads that are possible this week are amazing. So if you can listen to your intuition and use that emotional intelligence that is inherently built into your soul for your highest and best, and using consciousness with what you're understanding, what you're feeling. Feelings are beautiful messages from your soul. That's it. Emotions are beautiful messages from your soul. Your soul speaks to you in emotions. So if you can tap into that, this week is going to bring you amazing insights. So good luck with that sensitivity. You have it for a reason. Master it this week. Yeah, that this week, and then you're done for the rest of your life. No, I'm just kidding. You're always growing and learning. It's almost like layers of an onion, but you're like spiraling upward is what we like to say in astrology. As you learn your lesson, you're moving up. You can never go down because you know too much already. All right. Wishing you a great week. Thank you for being here. Please let me know what your intuition, I would love, love, love to know something really exciting that happened to you when you followed your intuition. Please do share that. I'd love to cheer you on. Have a great day. Thank you for being here.